So the last snow of the winter. It's very nice. There's sun as well. Sun on my hut, sun on the trees. And I'm surprised that the snow stayed because when it was falling yesterday it was quite warm. But of course it got cold in the night, so that preserved it. How about that? Snow and sun. Very fine snow, but it's snow. Even fine snow you wouldn't get in Dubai. Still some on the ground, but not like yesterday. And it's going to turn to sleet later in the day. Sleet is a mixture of rain and snow. Let's hope it's more snow than rain. Still wintry. Not snowing hard. Few flakes. It's getting dark very early. It's not sunset yet. It's the clouds. Looks pretty grim and miserable, doesn't it? I mean, if it was thoroughly white, it would be nice. But it's not. It's sort of dirty white. Haven't I got a lovely house in the corner there, eh? Take a picture through the other window. Yes, and I mean, on a normal day, I'd be out having a walk. I'd be up there. Can you see that? Up there in the mountains. Can't do anything at all. But tomorrow, freedom. I'm going to go as soon as I get up, have breakfast, dash down to the laboratory, get my test and sit and wait for the result. As soon as I've got the result, I'm out for the rest of the day. I've got shopping to do, walking to do, various places to visit as soon as I get my test result. In the meantime, all I can do is look out at the winter weather. Lovely day today, sun's out. Don't know how long it's going to stay like this. The blue skies everywhere. Beautiful. If I get my test result, I can go for a lovely walk in the woods, on the hills, on the mountains. Here I am at the top. You probably noticed I've stopped panting, puffing, and I don't know if the camera can pick this up, but you can see a hell of a distance. I mean, can you see those buildings on the horizon, tall buildings? Well, they are nearly as far the other side of the centre as the next hill, which you can also see. Just gives you an impression of how far you can see up here. And it's not a clear day, it's not a good day at all. I mean, sun's shining through haze, but that's about it. So, there you go. Sievering village. I quite like Sievering. It's very small. It's in one of these axial valleys leading out of Vienna. Not many people live here. A lot of relatively small houses. I think a lot of them are split into flats, obviously. One or two are single-family houses. This here with the barrier used to be one of my favourite Hurrah. Oh, sorry, no, that's the next one, isn't it? Just coming up to it. As you see, this is winter still. No leaves on the trees. Don't see any buds here. There are buds in my garden, but not here. But you see, clearly they're not acting as I mean, they weren't that busy. I think they found out that they were pensionable age. Maybe they got pensions and it just wasn't worth staying open. The wine was reasonable. The food was reasonable. They weren't so busy that I couldn't get a table and chair. Used to like going there, and it's a couple of minutes drive from where I live. And even if I walk, well, how long have I been walking now? About 30 to 40 minutes. So, yeah, I think we can see more of the houses down at the bottom. I don't know if you saw the lady just walking past me. And the interesting thing is that I'm seeing very, very few people, which is a bit of a surprise, because if you think about it, you know, look at that nest up there. If you think about it, So I don't know if you got the last bit that I was saying that I'm surprised there are so few people. There was just the one lady. I saw a couple of ladies right up at the top. I'm down in the valley now. I hope you heard what I said about Sievering, this nice little village. Yeah. What was I going to say? Yeah. Anyway, I mean, they're all sitting at home doing nothing. You would have thought, even though it's not a terribly nice day. Now, look at this building down here. Can you see it's like two long parallel tubes? And it was on the market for a long time. I think it was 700,000, and I had this idea of converting it into flats, one for me, one for Robin, one for Gawain, which would have been quite sizable. I mean, I think it's about 1,000, no, not 1,000, but 400 or 500 square metres living space. They've done a nice job here, look at it. You know, and 700,000, it would have been financeable. But for various reasons I didn't proceed. And at the basis of it, I think they've retained the walls but not the roof. It was one of these very, very old, what do you call it, Bauernhäuser, farmers' houses, peasants' houses. And it had been, I think, it had been empty for generations. Somebody bought it up and developed it because everybody wants to live out in the 18th and 19th. Look at it now, you can't believe that it was an old peasant's house, can you? They've still got the same windows at the front, that's interesting. With the little, what do you call it, the security thing. So I very often go up that way. It's extremely steep. I don't know if you remember the other day I was asking Gawain if he went up that. I mean, it's almost 45 degrees. I'll send you a film of it when I do it. I probably do it in the next few days. But you see what's happening around here? Lots of conversions, lots of new houses. This is where the wealth is. This is where people want to have their flats. This is the equivalent of, well, where I live in England, or let's say in London, Chelsea, Knightsbridge. This is where the top price is for renting flats. And when I look at it now, you know, you just need you needed at the time a bit of inspiration, a bit of imagination. 700,000 would have been financeable. Same again for the development. Maybe a bit more, which, you know, you'd paid over a period of years. So it could have been done, and with Gawain and Robin to help me do it, it's a possibility, but chance is gone now. So you see here, there is a sort of staircase that's been installed. It's not been there that long, I think maybe 15-20 years, and I used to come down before that, and of course it's steep and it collects the rain, and it used to get very, very muddy. I mean, it was almost non-negotiable. Well, I mean, I did it every time, but it was a terrible mess trying to get up and down, so this staircase is extremely useful. This is my valley now, the Neustift Valley, and that's a garden settlement, Siedlung, and you see all the development that's taken place. You know, I mean, they're little plots of land, and they've relaxed the rules, so people have been building houses. Shocking. And I'm afraid all over, new houses, new blocks of flats. When the land's gone, it's gone, and it's turning this agricultural land into a bloody housing estate. I hate it. But, yeah, as I say, not many walkers about. So this is the centre of town. That's all of this is new. Well, I mean the Karlsplatz, the U-Bahn-Station, or Stadtbahn as it used to be, that's not new. That's the Technische University behind there. Karlskirche, which I think was 19th century, celebrating victory or something like that. That's the Kunsthaus, where the second one, with the red between the pillars, that's where I once took Flora and Gawain to watch a summer production of Mozart, which wasn't very much flipping good. It was aimed at tourists. This is quite new. I mean, the buildings was always there, but new dedication. It's now the Albertina Modern. I go to the Albertina a lot, and they've opened this second sort of branch with more modern paintings and photos, which you've just been looking at. There's a Handelsakademie, so business school, old style here, and and going down into the U-Bahn, go back home.